And we are live. What's up, everybody? I'm Jay from Leprechaun TV and your host of the Hot Seat, where we light the fire underneath our guests' seats. And this week we got Phil, Pork Mafia boss, Pork
Some
Mafia Street Crew on Facebook. It's a group. Follow us, join us. We have a great time. I had the honor of meeting this guy a few weeks back, and yeah, we got a lot to talk about, and people get to know you. Phil, how you doing tonight?
awesome. Glad to be on with you.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that. Sometimes I reach out last minute. Some people say yes, some people say no. You were like, let's do it. I'm like, all right,
Sure.
let's do it. Even this morning, I'm like, send me a picture, do this, do that. In the last minute. Yeah.
It's the way I work. Also, you think of it, and then if you don't do it right away, it's going to get back on the back burner.
And that was a lot of my thoughts into going into this show. Was I was doing a lot of planning ahead of time, and it was coming back to bite me in the ass. People were forgetting dates like they were supposed to be on, or
Right.
something come up. I'm spontaneous mover. All right, I'm gonna reach out these couple days. If I don't get nobody, I'll make a show. I'll be live. You know what I mean? I'll be there to entertain.
That's right.
So we got a bunch of people already waiting for us over here. We got 9 million watching us right now.
Cool.
Uh, I got my dude Joey Edibles from Square Table Degenerates in the house. Daddy Dutch Barbecues in the house. We got Mr. Jason Olszewski in the house. What is up?
Yeah.
We got Judge Webb Barbecue in the house. Best secretary out there, Ski Girly. She's the one that did the thumbnail for you.
Okay.
Yeah. We got my boy David Fogg from Froggy's Kitchen in the house. Mick T, all the way across the pond from the UK, man. Can you believe
Nice.
that? He's still awake. It is now 2 a.m. and he's watching the hot seat. Love you, Mick, man. So Joey Edibles from Square Table Degenerates just went over there and did a little tour of everything and meeting all of the other YouTubers across that
Nice.
land over there. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Work is great.
I've never been, so I can't, but I live through his videos and pictures, and I hear stories. Obviously, you know what I mean. We got Race Vice Smokehouse and Grill. What up,
Nice.
Phil? That's
Larry.
that's something you guys know.
Yeah. We have a group of our industry night, and Larry's one of the guys that comes out and cooks. Great cook.
Larry. So Larry from Race Vice Smokehouse and Grill. Awesome. I know he popped up when Jason was on, and I didn't get his
Right.
name. So Larry, good to put a name with them. We got Jimmy Q in the house. Hobo Nickel Barbecue Testing and Laboratory. What is up? He's not here, but I'm gonna say he's here. Anyways, oh, then I'm gonna guess this is Larry's other channel. Larry S. Then we got Cuff and Stuff Barbecue. What's up, man? How you doing? We got Brian with Luxivo Vacations, another fellow Ohioan. We got CB in the house, Bumpy Roads Brewery, Brews in the house. Cody O, what is up? All right, man. So we got 20 million watching us.
Awesome.
Let them know. Let them know about yourself. Where you come from, what you do for a living, stuff like that. Little background story about Phil.
Sure. So the company started as Pork Mafia. I started catering in Chicago area, cooking pigs behind bars. It's actually what I wanted to do is cook pigs. So I went to a couple classes and figured out what to do and started tailgating. Next thing you know, I'm making spice blends, and got out of the construction industry and got into the food industry. So right now, that's our main thing, is making products for restaurants or individuals. So our bulk products, we probably have 20 or 30 different spice blends that we sell, along with barbecue sauces, jerk sauce, pretty much any kind of sauce that you want to make, we can get our hands on it.
So you're sort of a co-packer? Would
Yes,
that be the
so,
right terminology?
yeah, co-packer. It all depends on the volume. You know, the higher the volume, the better price you can get on things. But we
Right.
probably service about 50 restaurants total, few in Ohio.
Uh-huh. Yeah, which Smoking Jones Barbecue is one of them. Jones Bones, Smoking
Yes,
Good Jones Bones Barbecue. Yeah. So I got, after bringing that home, because I had picked up the shipment,
yeah,
brought it back to the restaurant, and Brian explained a little more in depth of what's going on and how it's working. So I got to meet you, got to learn what's going on. Then I got to see why Brian does it, which made sense.
yeah,
You know, um, so you could take any rub and break it down and turn it
yeah,
into your own.
yep. So we got a minimum of 4 cases. Our cases are 40 pounds. And even if it's a rub that you're buying commercially and you don't know what's in it, you know, our lab can break it down and even make it better. They'll engineer it to the best that it could be. And that's when guys start their own blends. You know, we can put anybody's label on these. It don't have to be ours.
Right. Okay. I see that. Now that's something new. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Mr. Johnny Mag's Barbecue,
yeah,
Pit Life Barbecue.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my boy. You see,
Nice.
he just got that new rig from Backline Fabricators.
Yes.
That
Brian has
color.
done a terrific job on his equipment. They're a wonderful piece. I've cooked on them a couple times.
Okay. Okay. So, what cookers, smokers, grills do you have in your backyard?
So I think actually the best thing to cook on in the backyard is a drum. I don't have a drum in my yard right now. I have a green egg and I have a kettle.
Okay.
I think the drum is the best all-purpose, all-around cooker you can have.
Yeah. So that's what a lot of people use, obviously, in the competition world, which you've experienced also. You were a competitor for how many years?
You know, I probably did it for about 5 years.
5.
We won a few categories. Probably our highest was Memphis in May. We took second place hog one year. I think it was 2015, and um, Hogs for Cause. We took third place overall one year. But there's a group of guys that like to cook, and we all get involved. Hogs for a Cause down in New Orleans. You got Shaggy from All Crawfish King, and a good core of guys down there that we cook with for that contest. It's not really my own team on most of the contests. I'm going to help a customer or friends cook. And, it's not really an ego thing with me. And I kind of consider it been there, done that. I don't have to do it. But, I mean, it's always nice to win. But we're there to help each other push our brands. And if it's for someone else's team, like Memphis in May, I help our customer from New York, which is Pig Beach Barbecue. So they're the ones in Memphis in May that I cook with the last probably 8 years.
Yeah.
We've won some awards, and we had some categories didn't do as well, but we've had a great time with the contest.
Yeah. So you guys, Jason does the same thing. You guys just go meet up with them and hang out with them, and just you
Yep.
guys assist.
Yep.
to anything, whatever it takes, even if it's
If they need something,
entertainment. You know what I mean?
that's all it is. Yeah, Jason came to Memphis this year. We had a great time. Um, the guys really um, let us get involved, and if they needed a hand, we were right there to help them. So it's a great time to go hang out with your barbecue colleagues.
Yeah, right on. You guys also met up in New York, correct? This
Yeah,
year?
yeah, a
Yeah.
great time in New York as well. You know, it seems that traveling a little bit with some friends and doing a little contest goes well with barbecue. So
That is
look forward
true.
to doing more with Jason.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hopefully, I could get involved 2023,
Oh,
and
definitely. Yeah,
I'm going to the Houston rodeo. I'll be at the Houston rodeo with Uncle Steve Shake,
nice.
um, and whoever else I know. Daddy Dutch Barbecue, Kent. He might. I know he was there last year. I don't know if he's coming back this year, but
Yeah,
Uncle Steve gives out the VIP lanyards. You know what I mean? Come and hang
nice.
out. They got that. They got
Like,
their big 200-foot by 80 tent. You know what I mean? There's a live band. There's a bar. Uh, everybody cooking around you. You know what I mean? Barbecues in the air, in the atmosphere. Good times to be had. And they also cook at the tent. I'm gonna try to jump in on a Blackstone here or there if I can.
right.
Kent did that last year. Kent has a signature dish that he does, and it's I haven't tried it, but it's people have tasted it and said that it's legit.
Nice.
Um, but see, he'll be there. Um, yeah, we had a couple other guys. Barbecue Broker, which is Johnny Mags's partner on Pit Life Barbecue podcast.
Okay.
Greg DeGiorgio, he ended up down there in Houston also. Um, my
Yeah, it's a
dad
big
used to take me to rodeos back in the day. You
yeah.
know, I didn't realize there was all this other stuff going on around it. You know what I mean?
The barbecue is at all several different levels, and it's huge. Um, I mean, you would think it's been popping for a little while that it's going to slow down. I mean, contests like KCBS contests have slowed down, but barbecue itself is growing. Backyard communities, restaurant communities. Um, in Europe, it is booming so big. It's everybody wants to have the grill in the backyard, and how can we cook this?
Yes. So in the barbecue community here on YouTube, we have a few over there that they do a lot over there, and
Oh,
they hold classes. So they'll hold classes for everybody. Now all of a sudden, everybody wants a kettle or a drum smoker in their backyard. You know, it's crazy.
yeah, yeah. I've done a handful of classes though over there myself in Europe. Netherlands, Lithuania, Finland, Sweden, Israel. Um, 6 different countries that I've taught barbecue classes and sell products in.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And that's within the last 5 years?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, you've been a busy
2018.
man.
Yeah. 2018. It was Israel.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that. We didn't talk about that. I that all right, guys. First, we're both learning about that. That's good stuff, man. I like that because they love American barbecue. Like they barbecue their own ways in all them countries, but
Yeah.
to
So
see
the last
our way of
was in
barbecuing is
Finland, the next
different.
one, and scheduled to go back in April in Finland for another class. But it's a great time to spend over there with those guys. Lithuania, we did a contest this year, and Finland did a contest. So I did 2 KCBS contests in Europe this year.
Wow, I didn't even know the it went over there. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so my first three flavors of seasonings was the Memphis, Texas, Louisiana. So that's the flavors that sell in Europe. Actually have it made in Finland and distributed by a couple different guys there. But usually a place will say, "Hey, I need your product," and I'll let them know, and a couple of emails, and they got product on the way.
Joey Edible says, I taught a weed smoking class in the UK. And there actually is video of him. I played it last week. I can't play it again, but
Nice.
yeah, he's on the park bench waiting for a train, blowing smoke in the air, you know.
You're going to have a fusion of barbecue and that and fused.
Yes. So I watched that one show, Weedakits, or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, man. That now you're talking. Now let's build something. You could do that in your state of Illinois. I cannot yet. Yeah. Daddy Dutch barbecue, because there are multiple overseas teams that come to the American Royal.
Absolutely. Yeah. The one from UK won a year or two ago.
Yeah. So do the people you associate with, do they use your rub? Do you work with them with a rub, or they came up with their own, or how's that work out?
Both ways. If they like one that we already have, I'm happy to sell it to them. Let them call it whatever they want. If they have one they're buying and they want to tweak it, we can do that as well. You know, it's just a couple of little digits of something, and the recipe will change.
We got a super chat from David Fogg, which is Froggy's Kitchen. Smoke and choke 'em, drink up, bros. So
yes.
Cheers to Dave. He has a question that he likes to ask all the time. What is your most favorite thing to cook, and what is your least favorite thing to cook?
So my favorite things to cook is ribs or brisket. My least favorite, it would probably have to be like a vegetarian dish.
Yeah, right. Got to have some meat in your dishes.
Yeah.
Which the other day you were where I don't know if that was the North Carolina trip after us, but you were holding that brisket.
Yes, that was in North Carolina.
And it's perfectly carved up, and it's, I don't know, probably 8-10 pounder. I'd guess all trimmed up.
Was 18, so that was probably about 12 pounds of brisket.
Okay, so and dark as can be, man. It got some bark on that.
Got some bark on it, yeah. And that was a Farm Gold brisket. Came out great.
What was it?
The Snake River Farms Gold.
Oh yeah, okay. Did you do that as a promotional thing for them, or what?
Just part of there was like 30 people that got together, and maybe 10 or 15 different people cooked items. We had a guy that brought a bunch of seafood up from Biloxi. He did a great job on some whole redfish and some oysters. I did a brisket. Another guy did some venison. So it was like a gathering of friends, and each person brought an item to cook.
So sort of like an industry days, but
absolutely.
You know, you could call those on the road. You know, like you said, a gathering.
Yep.
You could call it. You know what I mean? Whoever's organizing it could call it what they want, or we all come together and come up collectively as a whole. Like, this is what we're gonna do, and that thing could grow.
Absolutely.
It could grow by itself organically. It could grow organically, and next thing you know, it's a competition or a throwdown per se. You know,
like at one of our industry nights, we had 4 or 5 guys said, "Hey, I can make the best mac and cheese." So we ended up having a mac and cheese throwdown, and Jason got in it as well. I think he got second place. But I mean, those things can pop up fast, and you got a good time.
Larry S is saying Texas Gold on pork chops is my favorite. Johnny Maggs Phil's Texas Gold is tremendous. Larry, good food, good people, great time, and that's what I got. So
That's what it's about.
One time, that's all it took. I'm hooked. Where are you guys going? Where are we gonna meet up? What are we doing? You know.
Yeah, and you know, realistically, between Chicago and you guys, it's 5 or 6 hours. It's not that far. When an event pops up, I mean, you want to get involved, you go.
Yes. So, winter industry days might not be my favorite. I drove through Chicago in a winter storm.
Yeah.
That was not fun. It's just like Cleveland.
Yep.
But you know, once that weather breaks, who knows? You know, I'll hit the ground running.
Right.
For one, I have to take that March and April days before we actually get started on and Jones Bones. You know what I mean? So I got to take them little days right there. So you never know. A 5-hour trip, I might show up. You know,
That's
March
right.
or April. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Right.
It's still early.
I mean,
we got a
going to
little
be
bit
decent until January. So
what's that?
The weather's going to be kind of decent till January for the most part.
Right. Yeah.
So the 21st is our next industry night. I think I was going to do some ribs that night. I don't know what anybody else was doing yet.
And that's where? In Chicago.
That's at our in Alsop, Illinois.
Yeah.
We're a suburb of Chicago as well, southwest suburb.
Right on. We got Genie's Point and Loaderman from Florida. Loaderman
Awesome.
always he's always doing something, man. He's got some good videos. Yeah, he just changed his name. Can't quite remember the whole thing, but it's about this long now. It went from Loaderman to this long. Oh, look at it. Hey, Jason pops in. I'll pick you up on the way left. And that's even better. If I don't have to drive, because I ain't got one of those big trucks with big tires, okay?
Jason's got it. He'll get you there.
But yeah, man, you never know. I love that concept with industry days. And I just yesterday I was on the horn with Uncle Steve. And did you get to try any of it yet?
I did. Yeah, it's good stuff. I did try it. I made sure I took 1 bottle home.
Well, that's what we were talking about. He's like, I know you were at some event, and he's like, did you promote Uncle Steve's Shake? I said, yeah. He goes, well, that's you know what I mean. That's what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? Spread the love, spread the word.
Correct. Yep.
You know, he don't try to compete. There's enough people in this world for everybody to eat.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Does he say he's got the best barbecue rub? Of course. Who wouldn't stand behind their product?
Right. You have to stand behind it for it to sell.
If you're selling your brand, you better stick behind it, and you better be behind it 100%. No questions asked. You know. Well, then you know what I mean. We all got our own palate too, so there might be something else that you're like, man, this might go good with, and you do a double layer.
Right.
You know?
Right. And we've started mixing our rubs a few years back. I was out of town and had a a world famous chef here in Chicago called me and said, "Hey, I need some rub. I've got the #1 chef in the world coming over, and I want to cook her some backyard barbecue." So I sent him a couple of rubs, and he sent me pictures back of it all mixed up, and I'm like, "No, that's not what you're supposed to do." But he said it was the best ever. So ever since then, I've started layering the rubs a little bit and layering some flavor, and it works.
I love it. I'm a big fan of it. Never learned that till hanging out with the barbecue community, and all of a sudden you got to do you know what I mean? You want to try all these rubs out, or this person gave you that rub and you got to try that out, and
Right.
so I started mixing, like, let me do some layers. Well, you know, you learn that through the game, and
Yes.
it worked. So now I got my certain Uncle Steve shake that I use as a blend. You know what I mean? I got it for burgers. I got it for pulled pork. I got it for bacon. I got it for a brisket. I've because I've used it so much. You know what I mean? For 2 years, that's all I've been using. You know, so
well, it's like our blends. Like, I feel I can run a restaurant with like 3 or 4 of our flavors and salt and pepper. So it's like, you know what to use it on, and side dishes and all. You can use a spice blend for it, and you just got to know how to cook with them.
Yes. Now that's that's a whole different subject. I mean, you could tell people, but I think you got to learn it on your own. And if you don't learn from your mistakes, you're going to never learn how to use them rubs. So you might as well just stick to
your
salt,
first
pepper,
salt,
pepper, trial and error. Always.
Trial and
Mrs. Lepp, she when we first started getting together, and you know, I started grilling over here. There was a gas grill over here, and I was doing all right with that because I got cheap cast iron pan, and you know, did the steaks and on the flame in the cast with some garlic butter and stuff, you know, and she was like, "Oh yeah," but then I started thinking she likes my cooking. So I started trying to get fancy with it and do this. She'd be like, "Mm-mm, mm-mm." She'd be like, "Nope, nope." Hey, she told me no. She said, "You need to cut all that back. Go back to your roots and just season it. Don't overdo it." And I was, and now I'm good at it. But now I'm good at it. I'm like, okay. So when I'm using that layers of flavor, you know what I mean? The double rub or triple rubs, you know what I mean? You be a little light. You're not heavy. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not trying to coat the whole great. Like if you were using one seasoning, you coated the whole brisket. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to build that wall. You won't know until it's done and you see that bark, you know?
Right. Yeah, going through the phases of learning how to barbecue is wonderful. And it is the only way you learn is trial and error. I mean, I've had several guys say, "Oh, how do you do this for contest chicken?" Well, you're really not going to learn it until you do it. You have to keep doing it.
That is true. Jason says buckshot and Texas Gold. Yeah, money, dude.
It is money.
And, Larry comes in with, that buckshot is fire for sure. So my apologies. I haven't got around to using your product yet because
no problem.
I barely cook, being I'm always on the food truck. I'll take some barbecue.
The main place that you're using it is at the food truck. So I don't know what you guys are using it on, but ribs or pork butts or whatever. But that's where I strive to get my customers, the restaurants. The retail stuff is great, but I want that restaurant customer.
Okay. and that, hey, that's us.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so yeah, we got to work on something, man. There's I got we had talked about some kind of chorizo,
Okay.
paprika and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But uh, I don't know. I got to find something that's going to sell for one.
Yep.
I gotta compete. Will chorizo probably compete? Probably not. Um, I'm
Just
thinking
it's
something on
certain,
the lines. What's that?
it's certain for chorizo, certain people are looking for that. It's probably not a super big seller.
Right. I want to reach everybody, not a region.
Right. Right.
Um, I'm thinking something on the lines because I use Goya adobo,
I love Goya adobos.
but I use Goya Sazon too. So
Okay.
mix adobo and Sazon, make one rub.
Right. For
You get the
sure.
orange. You get the orange dye from the Sazon side, but you get the all-purpose seasoning from the adobo side.
Right.
Little blend, you
Yeah.
know.
It can be done.
And I would probably call it, you know what I mean, some kind of all-purpose rub, or salt, pepper, garlic, SPG. Throw that name at it, and then hide all the other ingredients as
Yeah.
spices.
SPG to me is always a little confusing. The general public don't know what SPG is. Uh, that's why we ended up calling ours steak and burger.
Okay.
So it's just like SPG, but I think SPG the general public don't know. So why not just call it what it is? So,
Yeah, you put it on a burger and a steak,
right,
uh, chicken and seafood.
right, right. Especially if you only have one or two, you have to be direct of what it's for.
Right. Exactly. So those are the factors that I'm coming up with. You know what I mean? The more we talk that day,
Yep.
the understanding I was getting. I was catching pieces here and there, and when then by the end of the evening, we actually sat down and had a conversation about some
Right.
flavors. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like how to do it, and what's going on. Um, uh, I heard. So general consensus of that evening, uh, the Mexican street corn was highly talked about, man.
Yes. It was very good.
And it was
Very
so
good.
simple. It was so simple. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it was so simple. That's when I talked to Jason about it, he was like, "Well, what was your favorite thing?" I said the macaroni and cheese was banging to me. That's
Always.
something I liked. You know what I mean? I called it the little. It would hold it in the shell, because the shell that he
Yeah.
used, it
Yeah.
was it was like a mac and cheese gusher.
He did that in New York too. That stuff was great.
Yeah, and brisket. The brisket stood out.
It's always good brisket.
Yeah. Um, but he turned around and said, "No, man, the talk of the night was the Mexican street corn." And I'm like, Jesus, how did that even end up? Now,
Yeah. It's so
where it
simple,
ended
but
up
yeah,
was
it's usually the best.
how it ended up being that good was because of the dude Todd Toven from Blackstone Products. You know what I mean? The face of Blackstone. I watched him on the Griddle Moore tour. I
Yeah.
don't know how many times I've seen him live so far. Close to 10.
Wow.
And
Okay.
in the corn on a 36-inch griddle, you can feed a crowd.
That was a great
matter of
display.
minutes.
It was a great visual. All that corn on the Blackstone. It was awesome looking.
Mhm. So that was cool. I didn't get to try your biscuits and gravy. I should have when I first got there, but I was a little nervous when I first got there. My stomach was in knots. I was already
Yeah, the gravy
late.
was a little thick, but it was good.
Yeah. Wow. You guys got to try the sausage and gravy, correct?
Yeah, always.
Anytime you're at a breakfast spot, I always order a side of biscuit. Let me see what you're working with over here. You
I
know?
like to see it before I order it,
so,
especially if
so
it's a new place.
yeah. So that's the thing I do is I'll read the menu, but I'm watching the waitress bring out. You know what I mean?
Right.
What is she bringing out around me? I gotta get some visual first. Hold on, what do we got?
Yeah.
You know?
I want to make sure it's not dumped out of a number 10 can.
You know how many places here around where I live in Cleveland do that, man?
Oh yeah,
It's upsetting. You know what I mean?
it
You're
is
like,
because gravy's so easy to make.
and then right off the list though, you'll never order that again. You know,
Yep.
maybe they shine in a different category, just
Right.
not biscuits and gravy.
Yeah. But the places that make it, it's got to be their number one sellers, I'm sure, to make the good one.
Right. Yeah. And you know how it goes. The more product that goes into making something, the more money that thing costs.
Yep.
The simpler the ingredients, the more green margin you have. Who wants to pay actually $15 for biscuits and gravy?
Yeah, not too many people. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to pass that up on the menu on a daily.
Yep.
Unless you've put it out there and it's already known, you know what I mean? Which is
Sometimes it could happen. Yeah. Yeah.
This is another problem right here. You don't know if that's too much flour. You're like, is that cream of mushroom soup? What is that?
Right. I make skillet gravy at least a few times a week, so that's one of my main things I make, and for breakfast is skillet gravy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've done it. Do I do it? Not so much anymore as I got older. Now I grab that package of pepper gravy and go home and
hey, if it works, it's
but
works.
But I do it in a pan that I've already fried the sausage.
Okay, so that's the plus.
Yes, so you know what I mean. It takes it to a next level. I just didn't do all the big steps. You know what I mean?
It's really nothing to it. I usually start with the cast iron, getting it hot. I'll put 2 tablespoons of my bacon grease in the skillet with a little bit of sausage or bacon. Just get it going. And once I see a little bit of smoke coming off the grease, that's when I add the flour. Okay. Add the flour, mix it all up, make your roux. Then add your liquid, and within 5 minutes, you got gravy.
And you had a big pot of it.
Yeah, we had our big black pot there. Yeah, it's our Cajun 10-gallon pot.
I was gonna say that thing's got to be, I don't know, 3 feet wide.
That's probably 24 inches or so wide. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a big pot.
We ended up boiling potatoes in it later that evening.
It was kind of nice because that helped clean it out.
Nice. My brother Chris from East Wind Farms says cilantro is a good garnish for gravy. This guy does not like cilantro. I don't even know why he said that.
I don't know if I've ever had the cilantro in the gravy.
Hey, that'll give it that Mexican flair.
Yeah.
Put it on instead of on a biscuit, put it on a torta.
I do like the cilantro on rice.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So on my food truck, that would probably be like one of my sides would be
Yeah,
white rice and cilantro
nice.
lime, a
Yeah,
cilantro lime.
that's a great flavor on rice for sure.
Yeah. Um, Only because just doing tacos, you got to have something. So you got the Mexican
You gotta
street
have something
corn,
on it. Sure.
Mexican street corn, the rice. Obviously, I have a pico, and
So in North Carolina at our last event I was at, after meeting with you guys, the guy that did the oysters did a street corn oyster. So he had all that corn and the mayonnaise and the hot sauce and all that stuff on top of an oyster that he grilled. It was so good.
wow, that got a little. Let me spice this thing up. Instead of
Yeah,
just having some hot sauce on it.
it was good.
Look at my dude Dash, barbecue catering info, smoking drum, steel drums. My bad, steel
Awesome.
drums. Um, this dude's very informative when it comes to um, catering and doing barbecue and selling barbecue and stuff like that. Like this dude's legit.
Awesome. So that's
I,
my whole thing is catering or restaurants anymore. Barbecue contests are fun if you're with the right group of people, and
Mhm.
everybody's doing their deal and taking part of their part, and not just one guy doing it all. Which is kind of why I stopped. A lot of guys feel that they carry the team, and if they want to be the superstar, then let them go on their own and be the superstar. It's not why I was doing it anyway. So
Right.
you got to
Yeah.
have fun at the contest. First off, have fun.
That's number one. That's number one is fun.
Right.
Um, like I follow Chicken Fried Barbecue, and um, a lot of his friends now that he's in the competition with, you know, they were even on the Food Network show with Michael Simon, Barbecue USA,
Okay.
and just watching the camaraderie and the fun and everybody's having like if you are wrinkling any kind of feathers or you just rub off that wrong, you're not going to be part of that community. I'll tell you that.
No.
They will not let you in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, getting to travel this upcoming. Obviously, I want to come hang out with you guys.
You're welcome
one
anytime.
one thing that I already want to go to Chicago for, anyways, is a banging ass Italian beef sandwich. That's what I want. That's what I crave.
3 or 4 great spots for sure. You got to get. I like the combo myself, which is Italian sausage and beef. Then they take the whole sandwich and dunk it in the gravy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Al's Beef downtown on Taylor Street. The original location is a great spot. Johnny's Beef out in Melrose Park is a great spot. And Barry on Grand Avenue is a great spot. And Mr. Beef down North Orleans. So there's 4 great beef sandwich spots for sure.
I tell you what, in one day I'll eat all 4 of them.
That's a good day. That's a good day.
I might not eat the whole thing, but I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to be the judge.
Right.
Which my brother Hobo from Hobo Nickel Barbecue, he's actually the creator of this show, and
Okay.
he is from Chicago, so he knows all them little spots. He had actually brought it up earlier. He bought his first switchblade from some popular flea market near you.
Okay.
Yeah, it began with an A. I don't know, Allison or Wesson or something like that.
It don't ring a bell.
Yeah, it was something. Maybe you could chime back in and let me correct me on my memory here. Uncle Steve Shakes in the house. What's up, brother? Hey, you are fine. I'm ghost to myself. I still got to get the hot seat in though. I still got to get the hot seat in. That's about it. That's all the YouTube I do anymore. But yeah, man. So he was, he knows the pizza spots. He knows the Italian beef spots.
Nice.
I had actually went to this spot. Jason's been to it. It's called Gorman's, and I seen it on the menu, and I was like, "Oh yes, there it is." Grabbed it. To me, it was great because that was the first Italian beef I've ever had in my life. I was like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
But when it come down to it, I'm like, man, that roast beef was bland. Like it
Some of them
needed
can be. Yep.
it,
That's why
it
they got
needed
to add that spice.
yeah, you needed some oomph in it, or at least make that au jus
Yes.
kick ass. You know what I mean? So when you dip it in there, you get the flavor on the outside, but
Yeah.
it was so thick that in the middle it was like bland. And
Yeah.
I done and the au jus tasted like chicken broth or beef broth. You know what I mean?
You know how many places use chicken broth for their beef or pork? It's pathetic.
Yeah, man, I was. Ugh.
But I had a good smoked Italian beef at Brotherton's Barbecue outside of Austin, Texas. It's a great uh, smoked Italian beef sandwich.
Smoked.
Yep.
Now that's taken to another level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he was getting all his supplies from somebody in Chicago, but that is a great sandwich.
We're having a Chris on Chris war right here right now. Hobo got his first handy at flea market is what he meant to say. These guys. Hey, the chat is what makes this show. If you haven't noticed that, I always keep
Yeah,
the chat.
I'm watching it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's who it's about. Who's watching you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love them. I entertain them. You know what I mean? I make an ass out of myself to entertain them. You go back to some of my cooking nights. So I have a sombrero. I call myself Redneck Skin. I had a bandana looking poncho. and I'm out here cooking for Taco Tuesday every Tuesday. I must have did this show for like a year. So I got this huge following, right?
That's awesome. Yeah.
But I was cooking on the Blackstone. I was looking for affiliation through that company, and they kicked me in the nuts about that, and I dropped it. And I dropped it, which I should have worried about my fans and the people that follow me versus some company.
Well, and there's always
guys,
another company that makes a product too. Yeah.
Yeah, I will never do that again. I sold my soul to the devil, and it bit me in the ass. The devil did win.
Yeah, you do have to watch that stuff in the food industry.
Yeah, and especially coming from YouTube, where I'm recording myself in my garage. You know what I mean? I don't have this professional setting. I don't have professional.
But the technology is great. I mean, just on this, I'm on my phone, and this is wonderful. I mean, the technology is great.
Right, and that's where we're at these days. You know, we don't have to be in class anymore. You can do virtual barbecue online classes.
Yeah.
If you got the tech savviness in you, you know what I mean. You might not have to go to Switzerland next year. You could host that via satellite.
No, I'll take the trip.
Yeah, I would too, but to make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe if there's something off of that, like they didn't get enough from you that
Right.
particular one moment in time, so now they want to pick your brain even more. Well, I got to go back to the States, but if you sign up for my virtual class,
Right.
you know what I mean? Here's this one's for you. Obscure question: Pork Mafia boss eating at Bartolone's and his thoughts.
Have not eaten at Bartolone's in a long time. The one in Blue Island, I've been there, but it's been years.
So there's double location?
You know, I don't know if it's a different family, but there is a couple of them. But the one I think that they're talking about is the one in Blue Island, which is not too far from me. But it's been a while since I've been over there. But I remember it being very good.
Okay, and what do they have there? For
Just Italian specials. Yeah, it's like an Italian place. Yeah.
So you get some rigatoni.
Yeah. You get your Italian fix for sure.
I have a spot right at the corner of me, and it's supposed to be one of the old families of Cleveland. And I've yet to even try them, man. I'm so disappointed on Cleveland Italian. It's you know what I mean? People think Olive Garden is Italian.
Yeah, you're right. Well, my mom and dad did like it, but that's where they like to go.
Oh yeah, Italian.
But I just couldn't do it. I can't do Olive Garden.
Oh, Olive Garden.
Yeah.
But the free breadsticks and salad, bro. Come on.
I guess that's how they get a lot of the seniors is the free breadsticks and salad.
Right. And Hobo says yes, Blue Island.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll have to get back over there. Friends of ours will go quite often and do enjoy it. Our warehouse is not far from there at all, probably just like 3 miles.
Right on. That's sweet. So, right up the road.
Yeah. Also, just wanted to say we do sometimes we do our hogs and cooking on. We have a big pit. It's an Alvaron cooker. A friend of ours from South Carolina makes them. John Haney. It's a great catering pit, and you know, one guy can roll this thing around, and you can cook a pig or you can grill hamburgers on it. Pretty versatile machine. Just to give a quick shout out to Alvaron Barbecue.
Yeah. Hey, give any shout outs, any more, just tell me to shut up and you got something to say.
No worries at all. No problem. Our website's porkmafia.us
Yes.
or pminternationalusa.com for bulk and restaurants mostly, but all our retail stuff is up at porkmafia.us.
So somebody had posted Jimmy Q, my brother from Ohio, he posted earlier. So if everybody wants to find this guy Phil, Pork Mafia, the scroll up, it's up there.
Cool.
Tag the website or whatever. Go visit it, give it a follow. And you have all your socials on there too?
Should have. Instagram's Pork Mafia Boss or Phil Wingo. Facebook group, of course, is the Pork Mafia Street Crew. On that group, any products that we make for us or somebody else, we're happy for people to post and talk about. We try not to, have a bunch of other companies posting their stuff, but for the most part, it's anybody that we make their products. It's happy to have it posted on there.
That's cool. We just had my dude Joe join us. Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue.
Awesome.
He's king of the sausage. I tell you that
Okay.
he's got it down pat, man. He got
Awesome.
a badass setup. Got to follow him, man. Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue.
Awesome.
Awesome dude, man. Um, Kathy Bates. Olive Garden is an Italian.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
my other Ohio native Ohioan there. My brother from another mother. We got Ryan from Barbecue Blackstone and Beer, which he is in your neck of the woods. And this dude does so much for the barbecue community. Phil, you gotta get with this guy.
Awesome. Yep. For
You
sure.
gotta go with this guy. He does a lot of charity stuff, and great guy. He hooks up with Wanamakers.
Oh yeah. We've got
Yeah,
product out at Wanamakers.
yes. So this guy, man, he does a lot, man. Great guy. He just got a pool. He might invite you over to come
Awesome.
swimming. Yeah, throw something down on the Blackstone. You never know.
There's always time to cook.
Right on. So he'll be here. Yeah, you guys can chat after the show here. Um, so Phil, anything else you'd like to shout out? Any
Um,
special promo you want to got? I know you. I wish one of my mods could put up your link. They'll have to
no
go back.
problem. One of our next big things will be the Hogs for a Cause in March down in New Orleans. Anybody that's down that way and want to come hang out a little bit, just give us a quick shout.
Sounds good, man. So yeah, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat in this broadcast, and we're gonna hang out afterwards for a minute here.
Okay.
There's a couple people probably gotta pick your brain. Yeah,
Sure.
man. I just want to say thanks to everybody, the 16 million hanging out with us still. Appreciate you. Phil's a great guy. Give him a follow on all the socials, and maybe get some product from him. Give him a try. And yeah, man. Thank you so much for coming on, Phil. Appreciate you, brother.
No problem. Thank you.
I'll get around to trying your stuff myself. So, but yeah, and that's another episode of the Hot Seat, man. See,
Awesome.
1 hour, man. That's all we needed. Now they know you. Right on.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks.
guys. I love you. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.